My parents were together 60 years before my dad passed away.
Wow.
And so I grew up in a very positive impression of marriage.
Kevin, I wanted to go back to something we hit on. You have an amazing wife, and you've been married a long time in an industry where that's really not the norm. How has that happened?
I just agree with everything she says. So 26 years, I told her on our 10th anniversary, that was like a golden anniversary in Hollywood, because if you look at actors that have been married 26 years, that's probably a combination of 5 different weddings.
Right.
So,
Yep.
You know what? We have our battles, but we're on the same page on so many things, and I think we balance out each other in a lot of good, positive ways. And it's, I grew up, my parents were together 60 years before my dad passed away.
Wow.
And so I grew up in a very positive, impression of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents argued, but there wasn't like screaming, there wasn't that kind of stuff. They disagreed and stuff. But man, I got memories of my dad, all the time coming up and hugging my mom through all those decades I was at, that I've known them. And just never really having, I think Sam and I have bigger fights than my mom and dad ever did, certainly. But we're both strong-willed people, know, and that's going to happen. But I think we work together really well. And she's a great mother and homeschool advocate. She travels the country. My kids are awesome. I think one of the blessings of COVID, to go back to our last segment, is that 2 million more homes are homeschooling now.
Right.
Because people started waking up to how horrible our public education system is, because it's just gotten worse decade after decade. I mean, when I was in school back in the 70s and in early 80s, teachers taught what they were being paid to teach. They weren't telling me to change my sex. They weren't telling me that I'm a white person that's evil. They weren't telling me don't believe in God or only vote for a liberal. They weren't telling me that stuff. But that's all we get now, brainwash over and over again. So I think people said, honey, maybe we shouldn't use public schools as a babysitting service for our kids. Maybe, just maybe, we should start looking at homeschooling. So 2 million more families are doing that now. And I think more and more will do it, because it's insane. Here in the state of Florida, they got rid of 12 conservative school boards across the state. They replaced it with conservative people that want to make public school good again. But public school will never be good because it's run by the government.
This episode of Rapid Response was brought to you by CTC Math. Visit them at ctcmath.com today.